What was going through your head when you were actually going that far to go work at the call center? Was it like, this is what I have to do if I want to make it through life? Or were you thinking, this is what I have to do if I want to be great one day? Like, did you already sort of have like the formation of a vision that you were going to be something in life?
My mom is, she's always told me since I was born that I was going to be the prodigal son that was going to lead us out of poverty and shit. Since I was youngest to remember, I didn't really believe her or, anything like that. And oftentimes when I was getting in trouble, she wouldn't be mad at me because I was getting in trouble. She would just be mad because she knew that I was destined for greatness and I was up. Wow. So there was a point in time in my life where I didn't see that shit and I didn't give a bro. I was waking up getting high from the time that I was going to sleep to the time that I woke up to the time I was going to sleep.
How high are we talking?
Bro, what kind of high? Like,
I was smoking weed. I was just smoking weed. Shit, bro. I mean, I was really addicted to that shit. I was probably smoking like 2 zips a week. And keep in mind, I'm broke as shit. So it's like, that's a lot of weed for a broke mother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So definitely. Yeah, I actually quit though. In 2020, I quit.
You quit quit smoking weed?
Yeah, I was smoking from the time I was 9 to 20.
Oh shit!
What made you quit smoking weed?
It put me in the hospital every time I did. I started having like anxiety attacks. I thought I was having a heart attack and shit. And so I'm like, well, I can't keep doing this shit. So yeah, I just quit. And now I don't even have the urge to smoke at all. Like I can go the rest of my life without smoking.
Weed is kind of like my primary vice I have left. But yeah. I don't know. Yeah, like if you're just like trying to make it in life, if you're like in the beginning phases of your come up, for sure, I think one of the best things you can do is not smoke weed, especially because you're talking about 2 zips a week. Like that's like $600 for the average person, or at least like
if you're paying for it, hell yeah.
Well,
how are you getting that much weed to smoke?
Shit, man. Skin weed. Bro.
But you were talking about selling weed, but then you said that stopped pretty quickly. Yeah. So what, you were robbing people?
I mean, if you want to say that.
Hey, you took down the weed man?
Ran off on the plug.
You ran off on the plug.
No.
Damn.
I was just getting weed, man. I knew people who with me and they would give me weed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So, okay, you quit the one day we'll get the Trap Lord Ross Dave Blunt's video. The many bodies of Dave Blunt. What but okay, why'd you stop working at the call center? Was it just too depressing, or? Yeah,
so at the time I was working at the call center. That job fucking sucked. I had to refill old people's prescriptions. I'm not a fucking pharmacist, Adam, so I can't pronounce the name of these prescriptions and shit. And plus, like, they can do all this shit on the website, so if they're calling me, it's because they got a problem. And most of the time it's because these old people couldn't afford it to buy their medication. So I had to break down to them, you don't have enough money in your account. We already gave you like leeway like 6 times. We can't keep giving you this shit. Sorry. It's like, but I need this medication to live. And I got to be the one to break down to them, you're going to have to die because you don't have the money for this shit. And I'm 18 at the time, bro. Like, this is a lot of fucking stress on me. I started smoking cigarettes because of that job and shit. There was one day, like, I was on break and I was stressed, and this old black dude seen me. He was like, "Hey, old whippersnapper, you want a cigarette?" I'm like, "Shit, man, let me take that shit." And that shit like took all my stress away. So I'm like, "Hell yeah, man. Guess I'm fucking smoking cigarettes now." So shit, I started smoking cigarettes. I was chain smoking and stressing, and just one day, like, at the time, I would work all day and then I would come home and like I would make songs on my phone, on my Android phone with dollar store headphones, and like I was starting to get like a little buzz like in Mexico and shit. Like people in Mexico was listening to my music. I don't know how or why, but there were people who like strictly speaking Spanish that was like listening to my music.
Were you thinking it was like a scam or something? Like these are like fake comments or some shit?
I knew it was real because like I had gone viral a bunch of times. Like just like I would just post pictures of me and that shit would go viral.
Really?
Yeah, on Facebook and shit. And so like I had like 20,000 followers in like 2019, and it kind of just stayed stagnant there on Facebook. And like, so it was like a real Mexican fan base cult. Like, I would, they would just always with my shit. So that kind of gave me the basis to like, all right, I can't keep doing this shit. Like these people are with my music, so I gotta quit this job. Like, and like I quit that shit. And when I did, I made like a big scene. I was getting ready to not say nothing, but my boss talked to me on my way out. She was like, "Whoa, didn't you just take your break?" And I was like, "Nah, I quit. And I said that shit loud. I thought it was gonna be one of those scenes in the movies, you know, where everybody stands up and is like, yeah. Nah, bro, they were
Follow you
all
out.
silent and like looking right at me. There's like white ladies who looked scared. They thought I was gonna shoot that bitch up or something. So no, I wasn't gonna do that. I just walked out, and she's like, wait. She's like walking after me and shit, and I'm just like, she's like, why? What's going on? And I'm just like, bro, like I can't keep doing this shit, man. Like it takes me like 4 buses to get here, 4 buses to get home. Like I can't keep doing this shit, man. This job sucks. You guys didn't train us correctly. And she's just like, I understand. And like, it's out in the middle of nowhere where that job is. So I'm looking at the horizon and the sun is just like coming out and shit. And I'm like, damn, this shit looks like low key. It's like beautiful scenery out there, Adam. And so I'm just looking and I start like crying, tearing up. I'm like, bro, I gotta make something shake with this music shit. Like I was talking to God. I'm like, God, I really don't care if you tell me that I shouldn't do this. I'm just gonna keep working until I get it.